Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Another top question that I receive with regards to Johnny's defamation cases is whether the result of the UK libel case will have any impact on the US case. I've also been asked to discuss what Johnny will be getting in recompense if he wins, so I will very briefly talk about that before we delve into the main point of this video. Alright, so in terms of the legal compensation that Johnny is seeking, the standard form of compensation for claimants of defamation is damages. Now, damages are basically a monetary form of compensation awarded to a claimant if they succeed in recompense for any distress or other negative repercussions that have arisen as a direct result of the defendant's defamatory statements. In this case, Johnny is seeking general damages, which are awarded to compensate him for the direct effects of the defendant's conduct. So these are damages for physical pain and suffering or mental anguish and stress, loss of reputation, and so on. And just for the sake of informing you, there are also special damages that Johnny is not claiming, and these are compensation for actual expenses that have been incurred by the claimant as a result of the defendant's conduct. So the easiest example is medical expenses. And in the UK, there is a ceiling or a cap for general damages claims, which is in the region of £300,000 to £325,000. So it is up to the judge to decide how much to award Johnny, but his legal team did argue that they should be substantial to make up for the substantial damage that has been caused to Johnny's career and the distress that he has suffered. Now, they've also submitted to the judge that he should consider awarding Johnny aggravated damages, which are damages that are awarded to plaintiffs who suffer an increased level of distress as a result of the defendant's behavior. So they've gone on to list a few examples of NGN's alleged behavior to justify the award of aggravated damages. A few of these are the defendant's failure to contact Johnny to verify Amber's claims, and their persistence in continuing to defame Johnny even after he filed the libel claim against them. Johnny is also seeking a final injunction. Now, an injunction is a court order to do something or abstain from doing something. In this case, the injunction is sought to force NGN to take down the article permanently. Injunctions are discretionary in nature, so it's entirely up to the court to decide whether Johnny will be granted this remedy or not. If Johnny wins, it is likely that he will be granted a final injunction simply because the entire point is to get rid of the defamatory statement in a permanent way. Because if it's allowed to stay up, then the defamation will technically keep taking place every time this article is accessed by members of the public. Okay, now for the main question about whether one case can impact the other. I personally have never come across or studied or heard of or been exposed to in any way a case that has the same plaintiff with essentially the same claim arising from the same facts and the same situation with the same evidence, but against a different defendant. Because in the US, Amber is the defendant, whereas in the UK, it is NGN and Dan Wooten, and a different source of defamatory material. So in the UK, it is the article that was written by Dan Wooten and published in The Sun, whereas in the US, it's an op-ed that was written by Amber herself in the Washington Post. And then, of course, there's the fact that both matters arise in entirely different jurisdictions. Because the cause of action in the US is arising out of an entirely separate article written by an entirely separate person, then whatever the outcome is in the UK shouldn't have any bearing on the outcome of the case in the US. Now, where it can get really confusing and gray is when you consider that the facts and the evidence of both claims are identical. Meaning, if the judge in the UK trial finds that there was no basis for the defamatory statements and that they were untrue, it would be easy to arrive at the conclusion that the US case would be swayed by that decision because of the identical facts and evidence. All the evidence and even the transcripts of the UK trial are admissible to be used and relied upon in the US trial. Virginia law allows for that to take place, even though the transcripts are from a court case in an entirely separate jurisdiction. This is very common in the law, by the way. Transcripts or any other judicial documents that have been processed or produced as a result of judicial proceedings are usually admissible in other jurisdictions and in other court proceedings as very reliable evidence. Now, the good news is that if Johnny loses the UK case, then that doesn't necessarily mean he will lose the US case. So it is kind of a double-edged sword in the sense that if he wins one, it doesn't mean he wins the other, but the reverse applies as well. I hope that answers your question. It is one of the topmost ones that I have received in the past month or so. The final FAQ video will be up on Friday, and that will address the question of what happens if Johnny loses the UK libel case. As always, do let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Stay safe, and I'll catch you in a future video.